So I know you probably like, okay, Chanel, how do you know that it's going to work? I know it's going to work because I have done everything that I share with you guys. In this whole process of developing your Phoenix Move, I've created a personal growth and development book. I've also created an actual workbook that goes along with the personal growth and development book, and it's going to literally guide you through the whole step-by-step process. It's a 12-week process, but it's really something that's really ongoing. It's more than just 12 weeks, because developing your Phoenix Move, it begins within those 12 weeks. After those 12 weeks, that's where the real fun begins. Like, when I tell you, you're gonna go through so many interesting things during the first 4 weeks. That's just, matter of fact, the first week you're gonna go through so many things that is going to make you really think. It's gonna push your mind to go to places that you never thought you would have to go to, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it. So I'm excited for the entire process. I know that it's gonna work because the beginning of 2018, I started my weight loss journey. My weight loss journey is something that I feel is extremely, extremely important, because since I was a kid, I was always overweight. You know, I was very insecure. I was picked on when I was going to school. You know, kids can be very cruel. And I've been overweight all my life. So I didn't know what it felt like to be a size 11. You know, especially as an adult. I didn't know what it felt like to be a size 8 or 9. I remember going on Instagram and Facebook, and I would see, like, you know, photos of females who were the way that I wanted to be. And a part of me, there was always a part of me that would be so angry, so envious. I have to admit, like, I was jealous just a little bit, because I'm like, how were they able to get this body? And then they would eat anything that they wanted, and it was just like, who made you? It's like, who made you? But it really got me to a place where I had to start looking at myself. I had to go inward and ask myself, why do I feel this way? And where did this weight even come from in the first place? And am I really truly ready to release it? Am I really truly ready to transform my life? And not to mention, that was just one way of looking at it. I looked at it from the standpoint of how I felt, but then I also looked at it from the standpoint of how other women feel, how other men feel who are overweight, who want to lose the weight. So I started thinking of it from a perspective of, if I am going to discuss this type of topic, if I'm going to have this conversation, I must embody everything that I speak of. And that's the power in developing your Phoenix Move. It's practicing everything that you say. It's becoming the example and not the sample. You see, being the example means that you're going to do everything that you said. It's non-negotiable. You are impeccable with your words. But when you are the sample, you're just simply sampling the lifestyle with no real intentions on buying it. Like, seriously, it's like going to a food court and you know how they have all the options to take a piece of meat. It's like that. So you can either take a little piece of meat, taste it, and be like, oh, this is good. That, you know, everybody love that Chinese food. It's so good, right? But you never really have any intentions on buying it. You just know that they're going to give you free samples. You're going to take it, and that's it. So in the beginning of 2018, I made a firm decision that I'm going to lose this weight. I was 220 pounds. Yes. And it's so crazy, because when I look at myself now, I'm 156 pounds now. But when I look at myself now, I'm like, why none of my friends ever told me I was fat? Like, nobody ever told me I was fat. And I think that is so crazy to me. It's like, yo, you supposed to be my bestie, but you never told me I was fat. Like, girl, you know you gaining weight, right? But for them, it was like, I always been that way. But I didn't feel beautiful at those times. And not to say that, you know, when you're heavier, you're not beautiful, because you are. And that's the part of developing your Phoenix Move that made it all worthwhile, because I had to fall in love with the person I was at that time before I could be the woman I wanted to be today. That's the power of it. I got to love the overweight me finally, officially, and I never knew what that felt like until I started developing my Phoenix move. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I couldn't stand what I seen. I couldn't stand it. I hated me. But now, even then, when I started developing my Phoenix move, I started looking at me and I started being grateful for me. I started loving me unconditionally. I started doing things for me that nobody has ever done for me because I love me. And because I started loving me, I started treating me better. I started being careful with what I put inside my body. I started being more mindful and aware of the type of things that I allowed in my space. Like when you start developing your Phoenix move, I feel that that's the power, is you come to the realization of why it is super important to take care of yourself, to love yourself unconditionally, to love other people. Because before I can love you, I gotta love who? Me. And that's the power in developing your Phoenix move. It's the point of taking your life from almost broken to I am sitting on top of the world and listen, can't nobody bring me down.